Hello everyone. Let us see hue and saturation adjustment with examples in Photoshop. So let us start. Here we have an image of a lady in blue saree. We can use hue and saturation to change the color of her saree without changing any other colors in the image. So to access hue and saturation, we can go to image menu, and in image menu we need to go to adjustments, and here we have hue and saturation. We can also use keyboard shortcut Ctrl+U. So once you open the hue and saturation dialog, here we can see some of the options. So the first option over here is master. And what we mean by master? Master will control all the colors in the image. So if we keep the option master and if we change any of these values, all the colors in the image are going to be affected. All the colors are going to be changed. Right. The next options are the individual colors: reds, yellows, greens, cyans, blues and magentas. We can change these individual colors. Right. So let's keep the option as master and let's see what's going to happen. So here the first option is hue, the next one is saturation, and the third one is lightness. If we change the hue option, all the colors in the image will be changed. So let's see here. See, we are able to change the saree color, and also the skin color is also getting changed. The next option is saturation. If we increase the saturation, the colors in the image become saturated, or they are going to become dark. And if you reduce the saturation, all the colors will be removed and we are going to see a grayscale image. Right. And what we mean by lightness? If we reduce the lightness, it will apply complete black color to the image, and if we increase the lightness, it will apply a pure white color to the image. But here we are not interested to change all the colors. We want to change specific colors. So what we can do is, instead of keeping the option as master, we can use this icon over here. This will select a specific color in the image. So we'll just click on it and we will click on her saree. So the moment you click on her saree, we can see a change here. We can see a change here. It is showing blues here. So means it indicates that we have selected a blue color. And if we now change the hue and saturation or lightness, it will only affect the saree. It will only affect the blue colors in the image. So let's see what's going to happen. See? The skin colors are not changing. Only the blue color on the saree is changing, and also the design on her blouse is changing. Because the design on her blouse is also in blue color. Right. And the next option is saturation. If we want the color to be too dark, we can increase the saturation. So let's try to change the color to let's say blue, or let's say red, and let's increase the saturation. So we can see now the color is too dark. And if we reduce the saturation, now see the color is too light. And if we reduce it even further, all the color is gone and we can see a grayscale image, right? And in the same way, if we try to increase the lightness, we can see a white saree. If we decrease the lightness, we can see a black saree. So here we are able to see all the different colors, right? And there is one more thing that we can do. See here, if we want to change only the color on her saree and we don't want to change the color on her blouse, because the color on her blouse is also blue in color, but we don't want to change the blue color on her blouse, but we want to change the blue color on her saree. So what we can do is, we can simply convert the image layer to a smart object. So how we can convert? Simply right click on the image layer and here we have the option convert to smart object. We can see a small icon at the bottom of the image thumbnail. This icon indicates that this is a smart object. This image layer is now a smart object, right? So what will happen if we convert the image to a smart object and then apply hue and saturation? Let us see. So I will go to image adjustment and here we will open hue and saturation. And now we will change the color of her saree. So what we'll do is we will first change the option over here to blues because the saree color is blue, and we will now start changing the colors. Right now we can see that the design on her blouse is also changing. But we don't want the design on her blouse to change. We only want her saree color to change. So for that, what we have to do is, right now we have converted the image to a smart object. So what is the benefit of it? So let's see what is the benefit. So the moment you convert the image to a smart object, here you can see a thumbnail. The smart object creates smart filters. So the smart filter has a thumbnail here. This thumbnail is helpful as a mask. We can hide the effect of hue saturation in the areas of the image that we want. So let's see how we can do that. Just select the smart filter thumbnail. Let us select the brush. Make sure that you select soft rounded brush, and now we will erase the hue saturation effect on her blouse. So simply keep the foreground color as black. Make sure that the smart filter thumbnail is active and start painting on her blouse. And also make sure that the flow and opacity are 100%. So now we can see we are getting back the design's original color. We are erasing the hue and saturation effect from the blouse, right? And we can also do something else, that is, we can inverse the effect. So if we want the blue color on the saree and we want the design color to be red, so all we have to do is simply invert the mask. So here we will select this mask thumbnail for the smart filter and simply hit Ctrl plus I. So if we hit Ctrl plus I, it will inverse the mask. So right now we can see saree color got its original color back and the design color is now red. So we have inverted the mask. We can again invert and once again just change the saree color to red. So this is a simple example in hue and saturation. Let us see one more example. Let's see one more example in hue and saturation. This time we'll be applying hue and saturation from the layers panel. So simply open the layers panel. In case the layers panel is not open, simply go to window and select layers. We can also use the keyboard shortcut F7, right? So what we'll do is, we'll unlock the background, and at the bottom of the layers panel, we can select the adjustment layer. Here we can see the icon. Create a new fill or adjustment layer, and we will select hue and saturation. And we can see here, this hue and saturation is applied like an extra layer in the layers panel. Right. Here we can see the hue and saturation options. See, these options are same like what we have seen before. What we have seen just now for the saree example. So what we'll do is, here we have an image of a person with yellow teeth. We are now going to make his teeth pure white color. So now we are going to brighten up his teeth. So what we'll do is, if you want to get a pure white color teeth from yellow color, so we have to first pick the color, pick this yellow color. So all we have to do is, here we have the icon to pick a specific color in the image. So just click on it, and we will just click on the yellow region of the image. So once you click on the teeth, you can see the option here. It is showing that we have selected the yellow color, and now all we have to do is, we have to just change the lightness option. So here the lightness slider is there, just move it to the right. So now we can see the bright white teeth. But there is also a problem here. We can see some yellows near the gums. So we can also remove those yellows that are near the gums. So just by moving these sliders at the bottom. So see here, if I move these sliders to the right, so the yellow is coming back. But if we move these sliders to the left, see, we are able to remove the yellows. And we can also move these 4 sliders to get some neat transition, some kind of a soft to feathery effect. Right, so something like this. But the one problem that we can see here is, see, the face is also affected. The face of this person is also affected. So we need to avoid that. So what we can do is, we can just select this thumbnail, which is a mask thumbnail for the hue and saturation, and just like before, we will inverse the mask. To inverse the mask, we need to use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+I. Right. So once we have inverted the mask, we need to select a brush. We need to select a soft rounded brush, and we need to paint with pure white color. And we need to paint only on the teeth portions of the image. And we can bring back the white teeth. We need to spend some time, and we need to make sure that we don't paint on unwanted areas. So we need to only paint over teeth areas. Right. So that's it. So the teeth are bright white in color right now. So this is another example of hue and saturation. We can use hue and saturation for applying a cinematic color effect. Here I have taken an action movie poster. So we will apply some cinematic color effect to the image. So this can be useful for many action movies and thriller movies. So we can get some cinematic coloring. We can give some cinematic color to the images. So let's do it now. So what we'll do is, I will first unlock the background. I will apply hue and saturation from the layers panel. So here I have applied hue and saturation from the layers panel. We have an option here at the bottom of the hue and saturation dialog, that is colorize. If we simply click on this colorize option, see, we can see some different color. It has removed the colors inside the picture, inside the image, and it has applied some special colors. And if we try to change the hue option here, we can get some different colors here. See, generally we see these colors in movie posters. We see these colors on movie posters. See here, we can see some greenish coloring, we can see some bluish coloring, and different colors we can see, and we have seen sometime or the other on movie posters. And we can also darken these colors by increasing the saturation. See, here we can see the dark green color, and if we try some other color, see, we can see a dark blue color, we can see a dark red color. So different colors we can see here, and we can make these colors even darker by increasing the saturation value even further, right? And what we can do is, we can do some interesting action movie poster here. So what we'll do is, we'll first pick a particular color here, right? We can make it a little bit dark by increasing the saturation. And now what we'll do is, we will inverse the mask here. Inverse the mask for hue and saturation. So simply hit Ctrl plus I. Right. Now we will apply one more hue and saturation above the image layer. So just pick the hue and saturation. Right. We will again colorize. Just click on colorize, and we have previously applied a red color, so now we will apply green color. Just pick the green shades and let us darken the green shade, so that we are going to get a bright or dark green color. So something like this, right? So now what we'll do is, we will inverse the mask again. Just simply hit Ctrl I. Right. Now we will apply one more hue and saturation to the image layer and above the image layer. So simply just click on the adjustment layer at the bottom, select the hue and saturation, and this time we will apply one more color, and that's going to be blue. So what we'll do, first we need to colorize, and here we have the blue, and we will darken the blue color, right? And now inverse the mask for the blue. Simply hit Ctrl I. Right. So now we have the three colors, red, green, blue. So now what we'll do is, we'll start with the top one, which is red. In case we don't know what color is it, we can rename these layers as red, and this is green, and this one is blue, right? So we'll pick the red color first, and we will select the brush, and make sure that we select a soft rounded brush, and also ensure that the opacity and flow for the brush are 100%, right? Increase the size of the brush, and let's start painting the red color. So we can see here. So So I am painting red for some portions of the image, right? And then we will come back to the green, and in the same way I will paint green for some areas of the image, right? And then we will select the blue hue layer, and we will paint blue at the bottom of the image. So in this way we got all the three colors. So we can reduce or increase some of the colors. So what we can do is, in case we want to reduce the green color, we can just select the black as a foreground color, and we can erase the green color. We can also do the same thing for the red. If you want to reduce the red color, we can just erase by using the black as a foreground color and painting on the red color layers, red color hue layers, mask thumbnail, right? So now we got all the three colors here. So now what we'll do is, we will create a background below the image layer. So simply hold Ctrl and click on the new layer icon, and we have to just apply black color fill to this particular layer. Right now this layer is transparent, so simply we have to select the black color. So we have to use Ctrl backspace, and now what we'll do is we will apply a mask to the image layer. So to apply a mask, we need to hold Alt and click on the mask icon at the bottom of the layers panel. So simply hold Alt and click on the mask icon at the bottom of the layers panel. This will apply a hide all mask thumbnail. So just we can see here, right? And now what we'll do is we'll select the soft rounded brush, and we will keep white as the foreground color, and we can slightly increase the size of the brush, and then we can just dab over the document once. So we can just reveal some parts of the image. We don't have to reveal all the parts of the image. So we can see some nice interesting look here, right? And then what we can do is we will apply a curves adjustment layer above all the hue saturation layers, and we will reduce the brightness of the image. So something like this, just slightly reduce the brightness of the image. So now we got the cinematic look, the cinematic feel for our poster or movie poster. So what we can do is we will just put the titles for our image. So we'll select the type tool, and here we will put the name of the movie as Do or Die. So the font I am using here is Impact. We will just increase the size of the text. So just increase it, and we will also capitalize the text. We will simply open the character panel, and here in character panel we have an option all caps, and now we have capitalized the text, right? And to make it interesting, what we can do is we will just take a duplicate of this text layer, and we will select the bottom text layer, and we will apply a filter to it. So we'll simply go to the filter menu, and here we have the option blur, and we will apply motion blur to it. And here a message pops up. It's asking us to rasterize the text layer, and we will rasterize the text layer, and we can see here. So here we can increase the motion blur value, or we can keep it somewhere around let's say, okay, we'll keep it around something like 1145 pixels, right? So then what we can do is we can slightly reduce the opacity so that it doesn't look too intense, right? And we can do something more interesting here. So we can make this text a little bit italic by simply right clicking on the top text layer and selecting the skew option. So something like this. Now it looks interesting. So one change that we are going to do is, so simply rasterize the top text layer, and what we can do is we will select the rectangular marquee tool and we will create a simple cut at the center of this text so that it looks interesting. So something like this. Right, now it looks interesting. Right. So then what we'll do is we will just put the remaining text. So we'll say only in theaters. We will just scale it down. So we'll put one more text on the top right side of the poster. So we'll say fire play movies, right? So we can put anything, just it's a movie company, it's a production company. Just make it small. Right. And what we can do is we'll just put some extra content at the bottom, and we'll put some dummy content. It is about the crew of the films, the directors, the producers, the names of directors and producers. So what we can do is we'll just go to this website lipsum.com and we can get some dummy text from this website. Just we'll select till here and we will select the type tool, create a text block at the bottom, and we will change the size of the text. We will keep it to, let's say, 16 pixels, right? We can slightly increase it. Okay, let's slightly increase it. Okay, and we will also center align the text. We will also open the paragraphs and we will also justify the text, justify last left, so something like this, right? And what we can do is we'll just remove the paragraph, the line at the bottom. That's it. Let's put only 3 lines of text. That's it. So we have created a simple movie poster using hue and saturation. So we can do many interesting things with hue and saturation. So the first example, we have changed the saree color. The second example, we have changed the color of the teeth. We have made the teeth into a pure white teeth. And the last example, we have created a cinematic coloring using hue and saturation, and we have created a movie poster. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.